Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, The Lens India Professional Photography. Today I will be covering the custom settings menu for Sony RX100 Mark III. So we will cover all the 4 pages in this session. So without any further ado, let's start with the menu settings today. So the first option what we can see on the screen is the zebra. So zebra is basically the function which normally, or the menu what we can see when we are focusing. So if this function is made on, we will be able to see the zebra like stripes where the highlights are prominent. So if we see this, we have settings which are available from the 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 100 plus. But normally I prefer to keep it off. Of course, although it indicates where are the highlights available, but I mainly rely upon the histogram which is shown while shooting on the screen. So I prefer to keep it off. If you feel that the highlights, these zebra lines are going to help you to identify the highlights in the photograph, you can turn it on and decide the appropriate menu settings available in this particular zebra menu settings. Then the next function is about the manual focus assist. So manual focus assist is the function or the menu which is available that when we are shooting in the manual focus mode, so it allows us to magnify that particular area and focus appropriately so that the image looks sharp. So this is the setting what is available. If you want to shoot it in manual mode, you can keep it on, or you can even keep it off. But by and large, I prefer to keep it on. The next is the focus magnification time. So when we are doing the manual focusing and the in manual focus assist, when the magnified version is seen, so how long you need to see that magnified version. So you can set the timer over here right from 2 seconds to 5 seconds or no limit. So usually I prefer to keep it for 5 seconds. Next is grid lines. So grid lines are something like which we normally use to compose the images. So various options are available, that is rule of thirds grid, square grid, diagonal plus square grid, or off. So by and large, most of us, we follow the rule of thirds when we are shooting the photograph. So I have set it to rule of thirds grid. Next is auto review. Auto review, we have the option once we have captured the photograph, how long you want to review the photograph on the back screen. So we have options right from off to 10 seconds. So I have set it to 5 seconds. You can set the appropriate timing so that you can review the image. On the next page, we have a display button. So if we click the display button, we have two options. One is the monitor, another is the viewfinder. So if you click on the monitor, what all the functions you would like to see, or the what all menu options you would like to see on your monitor. So you can select appropriately by pressing the joystick key, and you can select whichever is required. So if you go to the viewfinder, again the same menu settings are available. So you can select the appropriate ones and you can set your viewfinder also. Next is peaking level. So peaking level is function or the menu option which is available when we are particularly shooting in manual mode. So we have 4 options available: high, medium, low, and off. So yes, to some extent this peaking level helps us to identify where the camera is focusing and what is the area which is in the focus. So you can select the appropriate levels, high, medium, or low. I prefer to keep it on low because by and large you come to know how much depth of field you are going to get with this camera settings, that is the aperture and the focal length what you are using and the focusing distance. So yes, to some extent this is the good feature available and you can use it. So to yeah, sorry. So to identify these peaking levels, we have something called as a peaking color options available, that is those lines which are shown where the focus is being done by the camera. So you have red lines, you have yellow lines, and you have your white lines. So based on your preferences, you can select the appropriate color. I found that the yellow color works best in majority of the cases, so I set it to yellow. Exposure set guide, you have two options, on and off. So whatever we are shooting, so in case of any change in the exposure, so this feature, if it is enabled, it guides us that what exposure settings have changed. But since we are shooting in manual mode, I prefer to keep it off, and I'm willing to exercise the control on my own instead of getting this guide from the camera. The next is the live view display menu option. So we have two options available: setting the effect on and setting the effect off. So when we are setting the exposure, so whatever the exposure we are setting, if we want that exposure to be seen on our back screen of our camera, you can set it on. But if you want to see the clear view on your back screen of the camera, or in the viewfinder also, so you can set it off. And this will not, by setting it off, this will not have any impact on the exposure, but the only clear view in the monitor of the camera as well as the viewfinder, you can see it very clearly. So most of the times what happens that when we are shooting in dark, and if we try to set the exposure, it becomes difficult to compose. So if we want to see a clear image and compose the picture properly, we can set it to off, and which will help us to compose the image properly. So but for this demonstration purpose, I have kept it on. Otherwise, in usual situation, I have normally I prefer to keep it off. Next is the pre-autofocus. So pre-autofocus is that when you are using your shutter button, if you press it halfway, if you keep it on, it will allow you to focus on the subject when the shutter is half pressed. If you keep it off, the shutter will click even if the subject is not in focus. So I prefer to keep it on. So we are moving to page number 3. So the first option is the zoom setting. So in my case, this is disabled. I'm not sure why this is disabled, but I need to find out. If anyone knows about this, please do let me know. Probably I need to find out a setting in which it will start working. But since manual mode, I don't need zoom setting, optical zoom only. And even if it is enabled, that is of no use, because when we start using the optical zooms, we are basically not going to get enough sharp pictures if it is excessively zoomed. So but if you feel that you know about these settings, please comment in the comment box. Next is the finder and monitor. So this function is also currently disabled, because I'm not sure why this got disabled. In some setting this got disabled, so this is also I'm not sure. I need to do some R&D on it and find out how we can enable this. Probably again, this has to do something with the settings which might have disabled this. Next is auto exposure lock with shutter. So this is the same function. So you can lock the exposure by the shutter button. If you keep it in auto, it will operate on and off based on the scene, but normally I prefer to keep it on. Then self-portrait timer. So if you keep it on, and if you want to take a self-portrait, you need to flip your back screen 180 degrees straight up, and in that case it enables you to take the self-portrait. Next is bracketing orders. So bracketing orders, we have two options available: 0, minus and plus, or minus, 0 and plus. So if you are not sure about the exposure, so it will take the exposure at 0 exposure scale, then -1 exposure scale, and +1 exposure scale. And other way around, it can also start with the minus and 1 stop and +1. So I have kept it to default 0, minus and plus. Then face registration. So if you need to register some typical type of faces, this new registration you can do from this face. Of course, I have never used this function because I normally tend to do a single point focusing when I'm shooting portraits. Then on the fourth page, we have this write date off. So you can actually write date on your pictures, but in this case, this is disabled because my current image quality is set to RAW. If we are shooting it in JPEG, this menu function will get enabled. Then we have function menu settings. So function menu settings, we have various menus which are available to set this. We have a small key on the back side of the camera, that is the FN. So you can define the function menu settings based on the criteria which are available. So we have, when I'm in the shooting mode, and if I'm pressing the FN key, you will see that there are two rows which are displayed on the screen. So I can set the functions which are required which are used by me frequently, so that I'm able to change it quickly whenever there is a need. So this is the settings where we can normally assign the various functions in row number 1 as well as in row number 2. So that customization as a shortcut key is available for you. Then custom key settings. So we have some buttons or dials which are available on the camera. That is first is the control ring, that is the focusing ring on the lens. So similar to the function key settings, you can assign various functions over here based on your frequently used features of the camera. We have a C button on the back side of the camera, so you can use this function. So if I press the C button, so you can see that assigns the desired function to the custom C button, and if you see the list here, you can see many options available. So I've set it to in-camera guide. Suppose in case if I'm not able to understand any function, so this guide helps me to understand what is that particular function. Then center button IAF. So this this is also again the shortcut key what you can assign a particular frequently used function or the feature of your camera. Then left button drive mode, and the right button, that is the focus area. So I have assigned this drive mode and focus areas to the left button and the right button of the camera button which is available. So next function, the next menu function which is available is the zoom function on ring. So I have a focusing ring which is available on the lens. So same way, with the help of the ring, you can assign the function whichever is required. So I have kept it default to standard. Then on the back button of on the back side of the camera, we have a red dot button which is used for recording the movies. So you have two options available: always or in movie mode only. So I have set it to always, which is a default functionality. Wheel lock and unlock. So the same wheel which is used for the focusing ring, you can lock and unlock this wheel. If you want to do a step-by-step progress, you can use this wheel lock. So that's it for the custom settings in the camera. So next video I'll be making on the applications and the wireless menu settings and the playback menu settings. So that's all for today. I hope you got good insights about the custom settings menu. If you have any questions, so please do comment in the comment box. And if you have liked this video, please hit the like. And if you have not subscribed my video channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you get notification when I'm uploading the new videos. So thanks for today and bye. Take care.